Hello everyone, it's Lorika here. Um, it's been a while. I had a few things going on, so I didn't make any videos, but I'm back. So to ease myself back, I've decided to just do a book haul today. Um, we have this thing in Sweden called it's a book rea during Sportlov, which is a book sale during the spring break. You can call it like when the kids are off of school. And it happens every single year. It was started in the 1930s here in Sweden, and it's still going on today. And so the bookstores have some massive book sales, it can be up to 70% off. And it's only for this time. It's a set period of time, and then everything's back to normal. So when this book rea is on, boy, I tell you, I buy because it's so cheap. And I bought 6 books from 3 different bookshops. So I'm going to show you these. Some of them, a couple are in Swedish, and then most of them are in English. I sit hours on the website going through the books to find English books, and then I like go, is that English? Oh, there's an English book, and then I like see what it's about. Is it something that I like? And then I will add it to my wish list until I got a list, and then I choose from those. It is a very technical process. Anyway, so I'm going to go through them now. And the first store that I'm going to talk about is at Libris. And I got 3 books from them. And they're all non-fiction. The first one is called How to Think Like a Poet: The Poets That Made Our World and Why We Need Them by Di George. Here, that's the cover. Oh my goodness, what a cool little book this is. It takes you through poets of old and some more poets of today. And so each chapter is how to think like. So we start with Homer and goes through a whole list. It's not just English poets either. It's not like just like Shakespeare and that, but it's also poets from other places. I think it's going to be, I haven't read it yet, but I think it's going to be a really, really interesting book. So I'm very, very looking forward to this one. I will let you know how it goes once I read it. The other one is a Swedish book. It's Teckna på 50 minuter, drawing in 15 minutes. So it's also non-fiction. I do a lot of illustrations, very simple. I am not a technical. So I thought it might be nice to have a little book like this to just help me along with some of my illustrations. One of also the reasons I got it, as you saw when I showed you the letters, because I like to, I've started to make books out of fabric by hand, and then I want to put some writing in it, but I want to stitch the letters. So I'm just looking at different letters, the shapes of them, is a typography, to see what I would like, how I would like to write the words that I want to stitch into this handmade book. And then the third one is also a Swedish book, but it's got an English title, Power Snacks. If I translate, 50 useful snacks, you can call that word. That's kind of healthy. So yeah, nice photos in there and just things that you can make for maybe for lunch, a light snack. And because I get bored, I just have toast. toast or knackebrot, which is like it's like that hard, crispy bread. That's all I have. And so I was thinking, if I get a book, then I can get more creative with my snacking. And then the next store I went to, this store I went to physically a couple of weeks ago when I went down to Lund. And it's called Akademie Boekhandel. And they also had their sale on. They had a very big, good sale. And so I got, the first book I got is about sociology, because I really love sociology. I majored in sociology at university. I find it super interesting. So this is an invitation to sociology. The Social Construction of Reality is a previous book that this guy wrote, and his name is Peter L. Berger. And it's written in a really nice way. It's not written like a textbook, like an educational textbook. It's just in a very easy language, and it talks about sociology and how we are as humans in the world and our interactions and all that type of thing. It's not a thick book, but it's so well written, and I started reading it a bit, and it's really, really interesting. And it's more like a refresher for me from my student days. So yeah, because recently I also did a course online. I don't remember the name of the course. It was one of those free ones that the universities sometimes have on their websites, and you can just watch the lecturers or the lectures. And it was really interesting about sociology. So kind of rediscover some of my old passions. The next book at Akademie Boekhandel that I got is fiction by Paul Auster, and it's the New York trilogy. I have never read it. I've heard a lot about it. I'm curious, so there it is. So yeah, don't know much about it, but it's three books in one basically. And then the third one is so exciting. I already worked through it, and I've made little tabs for myself. It's also a Swedish book, but it has so many pictures that I can understand it. It's Laga med sashiko. So it's how to stitch with sashiko, the Japanese stitching. Stitches that I like and ideas. This is all for this hand stitch books that I'm trying to get into. So yeah, this is really, it has so many projects and ideas of different stitches, and just for me, ideas to see where I can go in for inspiration basically. And then the last bookshop is Bokus. I also bought these books online. They are 2 English and 1 Swedish. So the first one I want to talk about sounds really interesting. I actually already scanned through it because it's another non-fiction. It's called Life in 5 Senses. How Exploring the Senses Got Me Out of My Head and Into the World. And it's written by Gretchen Rubin. Such an interesting book. It's talking about all the senses, the sense of smell and seeing and taste and touch, and then so she went to the optometrist and got a message that something might not be right. And then she went out and stepped out with her eyes, and she stepped out of the optometrist's office, and she had this epiphany of how she's not noticing the world around her anymore, because we all just get so into our lives. We stop noticing things, we stop sensing things. And so she wrote this, the idea came to work with her senses and be more aware of her senses, and then she wrote this book about the 5 senses. And it's kind of a little parallel of what happened to me a few weeks ago when I went to the optometrist for just a regular eye test and something came up. So so now I have to deal with it. Nothing serious, just a little surgery. So so this book is so funny that I saw it at that time. Isn't that weird how the universe just works, right? Sending things along the way for you. Anyway, so the second book I got from Bookers is The Story of Scandinavia, From the Vikings to Social Democracy, because Scandinavia is a very social democratic kind of a place, by especially Sweden, by Stein Ringen. So it's like a history book, non-fiction, and like it says, it starts with the Vikings to the social democracy. And I'm very curious about this because, when I become part of a society, I want to know about more and more about the place where I live. And so I figured, I've been looking for an interesting book about Sweden that I can just get more information, but that's easy to read. I don't want to have a stale, boring book. Sounds so lazy, but I want something that's interesting to read, right? So when I saw this book and it was on a sale, so I thought I'll get it. And then the last book is a book that was written by Jane Goodall and Matthias A. Klum, and it's called The Perpetual Calendar of Life. So I got this book because it has Jane Goodall, which is an amazing lady, right? And it's just one of those books that have a calendar. So you can do birthdays or special dates, and you keep it for always. And it has imagery of different animals and nature in it, in between each page. Beautiful photography. Some are like double page spread photography. So I got that because I love nature, right? So why not? Oh, here's my special animal, rhino. Oh, they're so beautiful. They're so old, aren't they? Rhinos are just these magical, old, ancient creatures. That's how I feel. I remember when I was growing up in South Africa, when I lived there, and we went and saw the rhinos out in their natural habitat, out in the massive game parks that we have that is running wild. And I have some stories about rhinos. They're really beautiful. So yeah. Anyway, so this is the last book that I got, and this is my new books from the book Rien from Sweden's book sales that happens every year. And I try to support everyone. That's why I shop from 3 different stores. I don't know if you've read any of these or know about them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to delving into all of them. So I wish you a beautiful day further. And thank you so much for watching. And I will be back soon. Bye.